30. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Play action to Sproles. Wentz. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Tahir Whitehead. Not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They fake the give. Now Wentz. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. That one goes for 24 yards.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that. But I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves, which you'd wear in diving, but they would split too easily in the course of a game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart and started adding to it, and here we are today.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. On the tackle that time, Bruce Irvin.
Well, obviously they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. On 2nd down, here's Wentz. And, oh, he took that thing one-handed. What a grab. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. And that'll set them back 5. From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. An Eagle 1st down, Wentz to Ertz. Two 1st downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. They'll run on first down. Adams. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. But they face a second and long to start things out. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's second and 12. Wentz to throw on second down. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a third down. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Now Wentz on third down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked by Darryl Worley. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, switching gears for a second, let's talk about all the offense that's been going on around the league.
Yes, please. Let's do it.
We've had 3 games where each team has scored 40 points. That didn't happen all of last year. And the most recent example, Week 6, that incredible 43-40 Pats win over the Chiefs.
A lot of people talk about when you make rules changes or you emphasize certain things that you have unintended consequences. Let's not kid ourselves. This was the intended consequence. Open up offenses.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Fletcher Cox forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. To throw his car. And some space here. And this one complete to Seth Roberts. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. He got 29 yards that time. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Carr now on first down. Must into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. Well, switching gears for a second, a neat moment before Pittsburgh's game last week. Everybody knows James Conner and how he dealt with cancer. 10-year-old in the crowd, Charles, had a sign that he was holding, and this kid is also dealing with cancer. James Conner went over to him, met him, gave him a word of encouragement, and signed some things for him. That was really nice.
Really cool, isn't it? Because James Conner understands what that young man's going through. I believe his name is Levi. Got his attention. They're kindred spirits.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Tahir Whitehead in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. On play action, Wentz. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. Well, this gives us a chance to look ahead to some big Week 7 games upcoming. New England Chicago, that's intriguing. Carolina and Philly, you have that game. And then how about Dallas and Washington? They're a combined 6-5, but they're playing for first place in the NFC East.
And just think, Dallas and Washington fans, when they have children, the first words they teach them are, we hate that rival team. And now they're going to get after for first place in the East. The records aren't great, but the rivalry is strong. New England, Chicago. Chicago let one get away last week against Miami, but still they have high hopes in the NFC North, and they get to test their mettle against a perennial champion, the New England Patriots. And Carolina, Philly. Carolina had a tough one in Washington last week. Philadelphia, big win last Thursday against New York Giants in New York. That's a big, big ball game for both of them.
So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker.
Get down. You're wide,
Here's Carr. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A Raiders first down. Carr hooking up with Cook. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Looks for Nelson, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The defending champion Eagles coming back out onto the field here, and they are back to 3-3 with a Thursday night road win, 34-13 in MetLife Stadium against the Giants. Now 8 straight primetime wins against the Giants. That's hard to believe.
In their long rivalry, which began in 1933, the Giants have controlled that rivalry for most of it. But with that win last Thursday night, the Eagles are now within 1 victory of tying it up all time. The Giants lead 86-85, 2 ties, and that does not count the war years where the Eagles combined with the Pittsburgh Steelers and were known as the Steagles.
Wow. One more useless fact, 1933, price of a loaf of bread, 7 cents.
There you go.
On first down, Adams. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. And Marquell Lee with a stop defensively.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now a play fake. Wentz. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Reggie Nelson. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Well, let's take a step back and look league-wide here, Charles. What contender do you think is in the most trouble through 6 weeks? I would not have thought Jacksonville a couple of weeks ago, but, boy, very flat performances against KC and Dallas.
Yeah, and we expect them to be a dominant team on the defensive side of the ball week in and week out, and Dallas just shredded them in their game on Sunday. But I don't think Jacksonville's in as much trouble as maybe Denver is. Denver's 2-4. 4 straight losses, and Kansas City setting a heck of a pace in the AFC West. Vance Joseph's the second year.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Darryl Worley. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Well, Charles, after Kansas City losing to New England this past week, we only have one undefeated team remaining, the Rams, 6-0, and they barely beat Denver, but they got it done.
They certainly did. They actually set the pace in that game, Brandon. They got out to a pretty nice lead, and then Denver chopped into it, and the Rams held on late. But you can do that when you have Todd Gurley as your lead running back. Over 200 yards for him. The Rams, as you noted, the last
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. Room here to run. His throw incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down. With that incompletion, let's discuss all the overtime games that we've had so far in the NFL. We've had 9 of them, at least one each week. Week 6, it was Miami and the Bears with the Dolphins getting the win.
Yeah, and you know something? That's an NFL record. Because that record was set week 5, an overtime game each of the first 5 weeks of the season. Now we're adding to the record, and I wouldn't doubt at all that we would get to 7 weeks and maybe beyond. It's been a very competitive NFL season.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. On play action, it's Wentz. Ertz has it left side. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They'll go for it. It's Wentz. And that is going to be incomplete. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And the Raider D, they get the football back. Oakland Raiders offense, will see them again here in a second. They're probably still trying to get those body clocks right. That game that they played against Seattle over in London, that was a 6 p.m. start local. So that meant for the 2 West Coast teams, it was a 10 a.m. start for their body clocks.
So that means one team got the alarm and got the phone call. The other team did not.
Yeah, because Seattle won big.
Yeah, they won big. They were ready to go. But how about Oakland? Their first 7 possessions shut out in that ball game. 1-5, their worst start since 2014.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Nigel Bradham coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
On second down, here's Carr. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. It was the veteran safety Malcolm Jenkins who got a hand in there to disrupt it. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Shotgun now for Carr. Lets it go for Nelson. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish.
Tremendous way. That's momentum that they carry in with them. Can they convert it and bring it back out to start the third quarter?
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Carlson now to kick this one away. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Tahir Whitehead getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now Wentz on the bootleg. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Play action. Now Wentz. Trying to lay one up deep. It got his man complete. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. Wentz finding his favorite receiver, Jeffrey, on a big one. 51 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. They go play action here on first down. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Wentz will try again on 2nd down. And the Raiders have got him.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Play action fake. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
They try the 50-yarder and miss it, and now this offense has it 1st and 10 at the 40.
Check 4, check. Get set. 180. Set.
Now a play fake. Carr. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Nigel Bradham in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop. That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Hey, I ain't folding under pressure, I ain't switching for no. I ain't talking to no cop and I ain't telling on my bros. Ain't no but don't push me, fingers itching on that. Plotting on my come up, gotta watch stay at my nose. Long nights I just to hit the studio. Now I'm eating steak and shrimp.